Amazing. I was inspired to come here today and share some insights with you. I just finished trance channeling and a session in the Soul Mission Accelerator program, and it was a conscious channeling activation, and we spoke about fifth dimensional leadership. And I felt so inspired to come here today to share some insights from this discussion, because it's very powerful, and it's so important for many of you to understand in the context of today's events and what's going on planet Earth, what fifth dimensional leadership truly is and how you can embody these concepts, how to become for you an embodied experience. So thank you for joining me. This is just, a life that I felt inspired in the moment to come and share. And I want to start this conversation today, taking you through a journey from the moment you are awakening into activating your divine soul mission, into becoming a leader on planet Earth, for you to understand why all of these stages are happening for you and how you can relate to them. What can you do with all this transformation that you are going through, and how this can be relevant for you, your family, your community, your nation, and the global context that we are living in today's world. And, many of you here are awakened. If you are listening to my channel, if you are here, following my work, then you already are awakened. You are already on the stream. But what we have noticed is that when people are awakening and they are going through this journey of transformation, they start to take spiritual identities. And, many people are identifying with their abilities, with their passions. They, they start to actually, they in the moment when they start becoming a seeker and trying to understand and walk on this path of self-realization, self-actualization, self-embodiment, once they activate within themselves different identities, they start to take those identities upon them. Like, all these fifth dimensional abilities became identities. So this is where people, spiritual light workers, they start calling themselves like they are, channelers or activators or light language, whatever, it doesn't matter. But when you get activated in your fifth dimensional consciousness and you start to activate fifth dimensional abilities, the reason you get activated is not for you to take identities, but to explore your consciousness, to explore your evolution, to explore how you are going from one stage of embodiment to another. And the reason of this exploration is not for you to, to define yourself differently, to actually find new definitions about who you are, but to understand the co-creation with your soul and your higher consciousness. Because when we start awakening and we start to embody fifth dimensional consciousness, it's not about us anymore. It's not about, your ego, and it's not about you trying to define yourself, find new definitions about who you are, but it's about you becoming a vessel of light for your higher self, for God's source consciousness to work through you. And today I had with my student a conversation about fifth dimensional leadership and what fifth dimensional leadership actually means, because it doesn't mean that, you are this being that is identifying as a third dimensional leader, is identifying as someone as leading others. A fifth dimensional leader is the one that completely dissolved all these identities, like when you are not awakened and you are in the third dimensional matrix, you have identities that were given by your family, your education, the path that you have been, your friends, your community. You identify yourself within your own environment. Yeah. So when you awaken, those identities start being dissolved, and you start to access your spiritual abilities, right? So you start to become and walk a more spiritual aware path, and you are starting to, connect with more awareness within yourself. But then so many people are falling into the trap of like taking identities, spiritual identities, right? Because this is how we are programmed. Because, you know, we are programmed to identify ourselves and define ourselves based on who we are in relation to our environment, in relation to our reality. And then comes a point in time when those identities are not, you know, they have never been there for you to actually embody them. Yeah. That, like, identities are meant to be dissolved, are meant to be completely, you know, like disappear within who you are. Because who you are is not this and that, are not definitions. Who you are is a stream of consciousness co-creating, you know, at multidimensional levels with everything that is. And when we are walking this path and when we are moving forward in dissolving identities, even there are like third dimensional matrix or societal or cultural or, you know, spiritual and so on, this is when you start actually co-creating with God source consciousness. This is when you become a pure vessel of light. This is when you start to, you know, get yourself out of your own way and embodying the higher version of yourself. Because when you don't identify yourself with anything anymore and you are become an empty vessel of light, this is when you allow God to flow through you, your higher self. And this is when you lead. You know, there are so many people that believe that they are leading because they have, you know, a very successful business, that they have, you know, whatever knowledge, that they read 1 million books, that they had 1 million certifications, that, you know, they lead because they believe that they have done something special. But actually you are special when you become nothing, when you become a vessel of light that allows God source consciousness, which is the infinite intelligence, to flow through you and allow you yourself to actually lead by surrendering. And this is what people don't understand. You know, people still believe in, you know, it's interesting. People are awakening and then they are so programmed that even they are awakened and, you know, they tap into these spiritual gifts, fifth dimensional abilities, they don't know what to do with those, and they identify with them. And then you see all sorts of definitions and titles. I am this, I am that, I'm a shaman, I'm a Reiki master, I'm this. And, you know, the trap is that you see these people even taking certification, you know, like seeing people taking certification for becoming a channeler. It's like, that's a fifth dimensional ability, which is like equipped within you, which is you. You don't need a certification for that. This is who you are when you are being activated at the soul level. And, you know, it will come a time and place when so many people will tap in fifth dimensional abilities and you don't need to have certifications, titles, and trainings for that. And you will laugh, you know, when you evolve your consciousness looking back that you had to actually identify yourself with that. But this is the evolution, right? Like, people have to go through stages in order to evolve into a certain point. They want to become everything in order to actually become nothing. Because the moment you become nothing, this is when you are interconnected. This is when you can lead. This is when you co-create with God source consciousness. This is when you can access so much wealth and abundance, and when you co-create with your consciousness and you create massive expansion in your life. Yeah. So every time when you try to identify yourself with something, you limit yourself. You are limiting your capacity of co-creation and expansion in your reality, and you limit others as well. Because, you know, when people are just, you know, they have a certification and they are, you know, all the time showing to us, oh, I'm this, I'm a certified whatever. Nobody cares about what you are certified in. Only the third dimensional people that are streaming reality through their mind. But what is important is who you are. What's important is like how you let yourself get yourself out of your own way. What's important is how you let consciousness to flow through you. What's important is, you know, how you are surrendering to who you are. Because you are all magnificent beings of light. You are all these incredible, you know, massive humans, massive energetic fields, massive frequency streams. And you identify yourself, you know, you see yourself through a keyhole and you just lead with that. You cannot lead with that. That will not take you so far. It will only, keep you stuck into a frequency bandwidth. So what I'm speaking here is like letting, shortcutting your evolution in, not staying stuck into seeker mode, because the seeker will always seek who or she or he is, and will gather so many certifications and identities and definitions until the rest of their life. And then they will sit there with all these diplomas and certifications in front of them, and they will still ask themselves, who am I? While when you are surrendered to your self-mastery, you shortcut that evolution. You are going to the next level. You start to co-create with God's source consciousness in a very precise way. You are completely surrendered to who you are becoming. You are not looking for structures and anchors into your reality. You are completely surrendered to the flow of the universe, and you then tap into your incredible co-creator power when you are completely surrendered to the flow. And the higher councils of light, because I'm a trans channel for the 70 Arcturian Council of Light, the higher councils of light didn't make contact with humanity to just see this playground of humans taking identities. It's cute, it's innocent and it's nice, but it comes to time and space where many of us here are meant to be activated in their divine soul mission. Many of us here are meant to lead, to be in divine service. Many of us here are here to actually lead this world. Look what's happening. There is so much contrast on this planet right now. We are witnessing war, and we are going to witness so much more in the future. And the ones that are meant to actually embody fifth dimensional leadership, they know that the game of identity is gone. They don't have time to play with that. They don't have time for this type of expression into the world. They understand that they need to step into their mission, into their power. They need to lead. They need to confront their own, inner limitations. They know that they are here to be responsible, committed, and move strategically and with precision and focus. And this is why I take my work and my mission with the 70 Arcturian Council of Light so seriously, because everything we are doing is strategic, is precise and focused. Like, we are not just, activating everyone. We don't activate everyone. We activate only the ones that are ready to embody their divine soul mission, because with great power comes great responsibility. And not everyone is meant to be activated, because not everyone is able to carry the magnitude of their missions on planet Earth. It was at the beginning of our co-creations with planet Earth, when I became a trans channel in 2017, we were so excited in activating humans that were ready. And they were so excited when we were like riding the highest waves of excitement. And at the beginning, the 70 Arcturian Council of Light, they were giving to people the entire mission. And those people, like, once they got activated, they were just like, shocked, because who they are and their missions, there were like such a big gap. And some people, they were not able to integrate. Some people are not able to embody. Some people are not ready to make the leap. So when we developed, in time and space, we decided to not give the people, the ones that come in our reality, the entire mission grid, and to only take them through a journey of activating their divine service, and together with their higher self and their soul download that information, because it's important for that download to be embodied. We actually, when we made this transition, we actually saw that, people that are coming in our reality to be activated are only that are 100% ready. Because the readiness is not only coming from, oh, I just want to be activated. The readiness is like, what am I going to do with that information, and how I'm going to integrate and embody it, and how I'm going to apply it and lead with it in the world. Because we only activate leaders that are ready to make a global impact. And that's a big responsibility, It's not for everyone. It's not like, oh, we are activating you in your divine soul mission, then you go home with that information and sleep with it for the next 20 years. It's like, no, what we activate and who we activate is here for actually make a huge impact on planet Earth. And today, I see, and it's so exciting. And guys, the people I work with and my students are incredible human beings because they are triggered to the core of their being in becoming and embodying who they truly are. And we are shortcutting them through this game of identity. We are shortcutting them to not take, another 5-10 years of seeking themselves, do 1 million trainings and, certifications in order to actually, gain the confidence and the self-worth that they are here to actually deliver their mission. We shortcut them through that. And the shortcutting is happening at consciousness level, at physical level, energetic level, at soul level, because we are here to activate souls, not humans. And when we say soul mission accelerator, is we are activating your soul in doing this huge mission on planet Earth from, the 12th dimension onto the 3rd. And the human consciousness is a container, is the vessel where that soul activated is actually flowing and operating in the 3rd and 4th dimensional realities. So, speaking about 5th dimensional leadership, the higher councils of light and the soul, when your soul is being activated, is not here to, take identities, is here to lead, to create, to co-create, to, impact, to change people's lives. It's a massive, activation that is actually flowing through your family, friends, children, community, your nation. So, when you are becoming a 5th dimensional leader, you understand that your mission is not about you. It's not about your transformation and embodiment only. It's not about you becoming. It's about how you serve others and what you are here to do at a planetary level. So the responsibility is bigger. And when you know that you are here to co-create with the higher councils of light and that you don't do your mission on your own, then you are able to surrender surrender that to understanding that you are not doing this alone and you are just a vessel. You are just here, for the higher councils of light and source God consciousness to flow through you and work through you. And this is when magic happens, because the moment you surrender that huge mission that your mind cannot comprehend and cannot even imagine that is going to unfold, start actually entering your life. You are in the receiving mode, and everything that you are meant to do and receive and co-create with is just flowing into your life because you surrender. And this is what 5th dimensional education and 5th dimensional embodiment is, when, things are not happening in a linear way. When you are embodying your leadership in the 5th dimension, things are coming to you. And that huge mission that you activated within yourself is coming towards you. It's just a matter of you being able to hold the grid. And you can only hold the grid if you have no identity, if your ego is integrated, and you are able to hold the grid because you will need to hold yourself. And that grid is not only multidimensional, but it's a grid of like thousands and hundreds of thousands of people that you are going to impact through your mission. So it's a bigger responsibility. It's a rippling effect within the entire grid, you are in. And so many incredible souls on planet Earth, they're still playing into that playground of identity. I am this, I am that. It's like, guys, it's time. Look what's happening on planet Earth. You cannot just stay into that innocent playground where everyone is kind of like focused on their own peace and, applying 3rd dimensional conditioning layers, because what the 5th dimensional co-creation is actually for us coming together. Unity consciousness is happening in togetherness, in cooperation, in collaboration, in co-creation, in sharing this planetary mission. And it's not all, I am just me doing my own thing and I have this identity and this is my service and this is my business. No, you cannot be in unity consciousness when you are only looking at yourself and your piece that you have on the market, you cannot operate with 3rd dimensional value system and call yourself fifth dimensional leader. No, this is not happening. Like when you are fully embodying your fifth dimensional leadership, it's about co-creating with others, about shared responsibilities, about expanding, your service to the world, is taking care of people that are around you, being responsible of their transformation. So, this message is mainly focused on the fact that fifth dimensional leadership comes from, identity dissolution, like from embodying your higher self and, your divine soul mission on planet Earth, and understanding that the impact that you are here to make is huge. And it goes beyond who you are, and goes beyond what you thought you are here to do. It goes so much beyond the limitations of your human mind and what your mind is able to even imagine. And I come here today fully inspired by my students in the Soul Mission Accelerator to share this message with the world, because there is an incredible transformation that's happening here on planet Earth. And I see a layer of leadership that is rising, but they are not sovereign and embodied yet. Like people are still playing within these realms of like what I called innocent spirituality. And we cannot be so innocent when we see so much happening on this planet. Like, before we were looking at Israel and what's happening in that part of the world, like, oh, that's a war, it's valid, it's impacting everyone, but it's not happening in the United States, or it's not happening in Europe yet. But we will witness this year so much contrast and conflict that will affect everyone on planet Earth. So then the more of you are embodying your leadership, the more of you are actually stepping into your power, sharing your voice in the world, being activating your divine soul mission, build fifth dimensional aligned businesses, come out into the world, being seen, heard. The more you elevate your frequency and hold the collective grid at multidimensional level, we are able actually together to shift this, the entire collective and the entire world, into new realities where this contrast is not happening. So, we can only elevate the collective consciousness through elevating our individual output. Yeah. And, it was nice and sweet to see people playing in the spiritual realms with spiritual identities. But like, what do you do with all these abilities that have been activated inside of you? It's like, are you just going to share it with a small group of people that you are teaching? Are you going to share it only with your community? Are you just going to share it with, people in your town, only with your nation, when you can make a global impact? And time has come, guys, for the ones that are trained within quantum field and multidimensional output to actually elevate even more, because so many people that have done multidimensional grid work and they are not known on planet Earth. There are many leaders that have incredible knowledge and, incredible embodiment of quantum physics and quantum mechanics and like multidimensional embodiment, but their voice is not known in the world. And we still see like this, in this movement in the spiritual world where everyone is kind of focusing on their own thing, and there are a few leaders that are coming and saying, hey guys, it's time to actually rise and embody your divine soul mission. It's time to get serious about what you are here to do on planet Earth, because you didn't incarnate here to just, take spiritual identities and be this and that. You are here to actually, impact and change the fabric of this reality. And, there are layers and layers of how the evolution of consciousness at collective level is happening. So the ones that are awakening, they are holding a layer. The ones that are, being activating their fifth dimensional abilities are holding a different layer. And then the ones that are becoming the embodiment of leadership and, they're able to hold fifth dimensional consciousness in their bodies, they are holding a different layer of collective consciousness. So, the collective consciousness is held in layers, but the more are embodying their leadership, the more people are pioneering, the more people are coming together, because, you cannot become a leader in defining yourself a leader. A fifth dimensional leader is a person that actually, like embodying fifth dimensional consciousness, you cannot trick things like that. You cannot just, give yourself title and definitions. This is about embodying, a higher version of yourself that went through 20, 30, 40 years of healing and transformation and, dissolving conditioning layers and so on. You cannot, in the fifth dimension, you cannot fake it till you make it. You either are or not. And this is why, it's important for you to take seriously the evolution of consciousness and, to look where you are and where you are holding yourself back, where you are telling yourself stories that you are not enough. Where do you feel like you are not worthy? Where do you feel like, the fear of not being rejected, or, there are so many people that are afraid to share their voice and fully embody who they are and just come and do their mission with completely centered and integrity, because they are afraid that they are going to be rejected, that they are going to be, not belonging, that they are not enough, that they are not worthy, that they are not deserving, that, who they are to actually come and just share who they are with the world. Because in the moment you embody who you are, in that moment you claim your connection with your higher self, and you claim your mission on planet Earth, and you claim what you are here to do, and you are here to share it 100%. There is no way going back, but people are still trapped within this third dimensional. And when I see this third dimensional conditioning with fifth dimensional spiritual definitions, it just gives me a headache, because I'm looking at spiritual community right here, and I'm like, what, the global spiritual community, and I'm like, what are these guys doing? They don't know who they are, because if they knew who they are, they would remember like why they incarnate on planet Earth. They would remember what they are here to do. They would remember how they are here to do it. They would remember who they are here to do it with. Because a divine soul mission on planet Earth, you are not doing it alone. You are doing it with other souls that you sign soul contracts with. You are doing it with the councils of light and, source God consciousness. It's a massive, massive co-creation at multidimensional level. You are not doing it yourself because you are called John and this is your identity. No, so it's time, guys. And, I'm speaking for a couple of years. I'm actually telling, I'm sharing this message with the world. It's time to actually come out from this innocent spirituality and, playground, like, oh, I'm a starseed. Oh, I'm a light worker. Oh, I'm like, it was nice and fun in 2012, but like we are in 2026 and things are happening on planet Earth, So it's time for us to take seriously our embodiment, our evolution, to take seriously our divine soul mission on planet Earth, to take seriously our businesses. If you build a fifth dimensional business as an interface for your divine service, you are taking that seriously 100%. And your fifth dimensional business is not to give you only profit and revenue and to hit all your KPIs of your ego, because this is what the KPIs of your ego. If you are building a fifth dimensional business and you think, oh, I didn't hit whatever revenue this month, it's not about that. It's about the work that you are doing for others, how you are serving others, and then all that money is coming as a byproduct for being in divine service. So when you build a fifth dimensional business, not for yourself and for your ego and for you to stand out in the world as one person, for you actually, let me tell you what a fifth dimensional business is, because people don't know, and you hear all these stories. A fifth dimensional business is an interface for your divine soul mission on planet Earth. When you start interfacing with your clients, when you build a structure where you can hold and serve your clients and people that you are here to activate, is an interface through which God, source consciousness, and the higher councils of light are paying you for your service, because you need money in your fifth dimensional business to travel the world, to build eco villages, to build fifth dimensional schools, to do whatever you are here to do on planet Earth, because everyone is different. But that's fifth dimensional money that's coming from service. It's meant to be reinvested into your divine soul mission for you to found projects that you are here to make. It's not about you anymore and your identity and your ego. It's about serving others. And when you build a business and you collaborate and co-create with other people that build fifth dimensional businesses and are on the same level of equality, equanimity, unity, consciousness, collaboration, co-creation, and you guys are bringing on planet Earth the most amazing things for humanity, this is when you start changing the world. You are not changing the world because, you solved a third dimensional problem that is helping people to cut their bread better. You know, this is a third dimensional business. A third dimensional business is looking for a solution to a problem that millions of people have, but it's a small little problem, you know, that can bring you whatever revenue. While a fifth dimensional business is serving souls, it's serving evolution of consciousness, it's serving building new fifth dimensional structures, it's serving the new earth, it's serving building things that create generational wealth and legacy on planet Earth, you know. It's not about being mentioned in the history books. It's about changing people's lives. Yeah. It's about like being there and helping others 100%. Because when you help one person, there is a ripple effect at multidimensional level for that soul. And then it's a rippling effect in, you know, one person is changed, but that person strategically being placed is changing their family, their community, their entire city, their entire nation. This is how it's happening. It's a vortex that's being created around one person. One soul that is being activated is activating so many others. And then people are elevating their frequency, and then people start shifting realities, and then people start like collectively shifting paradigms. Yeah. So fifth dimensional leadership, guys, it's a total different approach than third dimensional leadership. You know, third dimensional leadership, we see what's happening, you know, to our presidents and, you know, governments, and who is leading us, who is leading third dimensional matrix structures. We know the story, we know the song, we know the history. We can take a look what's happening right now on planet Earth, you know, and that's a way of leadership that is dysfunctional and is not working. Has never worked, and it will never work. And we know why it's not working even now in 2026, because so many people are awakening, and there is this fragmentation that's happening in between like level of consciousness, and people start, you know, people are not so easily controlled and manipulated anymore, even if, you know, they try to poison us and, you know, poison our air and food and water and everything. It's like people start awakening, and they start not only awakening and just being, you know, confused and they're disoriented and they don't know who they are. There are people like me and the 70 Acturian Council of Light that we take people through massive transformation, activation, and shortcutting their evolution and ascension, placing them exactly where they need to be. And then they, in that moment, because I activate leaders, which means leaders have huge downlines, which means that those people are able to activate others. So it is a matter of like, it's just a matter of alignment, you know, like how the society is already many people start awakening. Many people start actually creating new ways of living, because every day we are creating, each and one of us, we are creating new ways, new realities, new choices are creating new realities and new ways of living. And we are choosing how we want to live. We choose what we want to eat and drink, what air we want to breathe. We start to choose more and more. It's not just a given, you know. For many people it still is, but people start awakening. So what do we do in this awakening process? We are just awakening and looking to one another and waiting for a fifth dimensional leader to tell you what to do. Because, you know, guys, in fifth dimensional leadership, there is no one person that's going to be elected to tell you what to do. Yeah, fifth dimensional leadership means that many leaders are awakening, that they come together leading this planet. It's not one person being elected collectively like a president is. It's about you embodying and understanding and, you know, embodying a higher level of consciousness and your divine soul mission on planet Earth, and co-creating with others. But the co-creation starts today. You know, it's not in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, because people are, you know, they feel like, oh, I'm not ready yet to become a leader. I'm not ready yet to take the lead about my own evolution and activate others. I'm not ready yet. I need 1 million trainings and I need to feel better about myself. But, you know, there is no time for that, because the reason you incarnate on planet Earth in this incarnation, yeah, it's a short life, yeah. So it's a short life compared with, you know, your soul existence. Yeah, whatever is happening here is just a blink of an eye, but this blink of an eye is important. And, you know, it was something interesting that I was sharing with my students in the Soul Mission Accelerator earlier. I just came out from that meeting. I just jumped here. And I was sharing that our ancestors didn't have the opportunity that we are having in this incarnation right now. Our ancestors that were incredible, brilliant minds and innovators and explorers and, people that actually tapped into higher level of consciousness. For them to shift their consciousness, they have to go out to transition in non-physical, while we are going in this incarnation right now through so many processes of embodiment and allowing higher consciousness to flow through us that we don't have to die. So, our ancestors, for one shift of consciousness, they had to go out in non-physical and then incarnate again and so on and so forth. But now, in this lifetime, we are able to embody and go through so many cycles of embodiment. We are able to collapse, things at multidimensional level. We are able to, look at past, present, future realities. We are remembering who we are from thousands of years, from the moment of creation. We have so much access compared to our ancestors, and we go so much through so many levels of transformation and embodiment that we don't need to transition in non-physical. And they look at us and it's like, oh my God, you guys, it's amazing that you are in physical form and you are able to embody, so many frequencies and so many layers of your soul into your physical body, and you actually live with your soul into your body and experience life. And the answer is yes. And they are like, they look at us like, wow, you don't even realize, what level of this is, like what incredible level this is, because they didn't have this opportunity, you see. And we do have this opportunity in this incarnation, and we are already doing it. So, so many shifts are happening in our consciousness that we take things by default. We just take things for granted without even realizing how massive this is. And, I feel like for many of you right here, it's important to actually tune in more into this, how your consciousness is evolving, who you are becoming, what you are here to do, what is your soul mission, how do you want to interface with others, building your fifth dimensional business, tapping into wealth consciousness, like going to that next level, becoming the next level, shortcutting your evolution, because you are not here to wait another, you are not here to wait until the rest of your life to do it. And you are not here to transition on physical, come back again, and then, maybe you are ready. Everyone that incarnates on planet Earth and in this incarnation is ready. You are all ready. And if you are listening to me, you are more than ready. Because, where me and the Arcturian Council of Light, we are streaming on a frequency that is not for everyone. Like the mainstream frequency is not touching this transmission. So, if you are listening to us, this means that there is a level of readiness of your soul. It's not even your consciousness, not even your conscious mind, like your mind. It's not that. It's your soul being ready to step into your leadership. And, what I see society being so stuck within this transition, in the third dimension, and so many people are still trying to embody four-dimensional consciousness, fifth-dimensional consciousness. But what I want to share with you guys is that there are so many levels of evolution after embodying fifth-dimensional consciousness. So, the big deal is not, I moved from 3D to 5D. When you are embodying fifth-dimensional consciousness, there is so many other levels of evolution. And, the reason we are co-creating our soul missions, the reason we are doing what we are doing with the higher councils of light, with other civilizations of light, is because they are here to actually support us fully. But they are here also to learn from us, because they are seeing our evolutionary process going, every civilization, when they are evolving, they are going through a very unique process of evolution. And there is so many eyes on us, like there are so many other civilizations interested about this, because they want to learn through our experience how we transition through all these stages of evolution. And in the same time, the evolution of the human race is very much, essential for many interdimensional civilizations. So there are interdimensional civilizations that depends on our evolution. So, this is why there are so many, interventions on planet Earth, like, higher councils of light, God source consciousness intervened for this planet to not blow up, because there were so many incidents when, nuclear bombs could have been activated. And, there are so many wars that had been prevented, but we are still facing wars right now. And the reason we are facing this contrasting reality is just because, humans need to learn through contrast, which is actually, it's actually taking me, it's like, why do we have to go through such, like super intense experience? Because there are so many of you that awaken, there are so many of you that is moving forward, there are so many of you that is embodying. And this is why I'm coming here today to share with you this important message of go to the next level of your evolution, because when you evolve, others are evolving. Everything it's connected through, an interdependent stream of consciousness. Consciousness is connected. Everything is connected. Our planet is connected with other civilizations. Each individual is connected to one another. You are connected with maybe 1 million people that is not awakening. And by you moving your evolution further, you are helping them awaken. And they start to see, they start, when a human is awakening, guys, they are not just awakening and there is only an individual experience, a collective experience. So when one person is awakening, that soul is being activated to co-create consciously at the collective level, which means that that person immediately starts being part of this collective stream of shifting collectively the entire planet into another reality, into other realms, elevating it, because there are infinite versions of planet Earth. And, humans and the human race is still learning how to quantum shift from one planet to another. But the more humans are awakening, it's an interdependency here. You see, it's like there are people who are leading, there are people who are pioneering, there are people that are, embodying, there are people that are activated, and there are people that are just awakening. But everyone, in the moment you are awakened, you are co-creating. Even if you know or not, even if you are conscious or not, you are co-creating the entire evolution of consciousness of planet Earth. And this is huge already. This is huge. And there are layers and layers and layers of co-creation. When you are a fifth dimensional leader, you start to see the entire picture. Like you have access through your embodiment, because your higher self and your soul being embodied, being in your physical body, you start to see the entire picture. And you have access to, like, you understand how big this mission is that you have, and how every person is, connected and important in this massive stream of changing the facets, the fabric of reality at the collective level, and changing, the stream of consciousness. Because even if you are aware or not, you as an individual are co-creating, you are deciding the collective fate and the collective experience. Each and one of you, consciously or unconsciously, is creating a collective reality, even if you are conscious of it or not. The amazing thing is that when you start embodying fifth dimensional abilities and you start to actually become serious about your mission, you start to actually see how you are becoming there is an awareness in your co-creative experience. There is an awareness on how you are creating your individual and collective reality. And then with that awareness and that power and that access become a responsibility, you start to see what's truly going on. And this is when, as a fifth dimensional leader, you are starting to actually become serious about your mission. The responsibility increases and you start to activate others and let others activate others, because it's a ripple effect, right? But then this is when the field of coherence is being created. When you start to understand the impact of your mission on planet Earth, you are not treating it as an individual experience, occurrence only. You start to actually see the interdependence. This is when you become an active component of unity consciousness. This is when you start to experience through your physical body unity consciousness. Until then, it's just a concept. We are in unity consciousness, love and light. But no, unity consciousness is when you are actually seeing and feeling and experiencing through your physical body the interdependency of all that is. When you start to feel, the other person like experience, when you start to feel Gaia, when you start to see, you see with your physical eyes what's going on. It's incredible to bring awareness and consciousness in the evolution of humanity. And, my call to you guys, because, we are in this massive, Gaia and is doing the best. Gaia is doing the best. It's aligning planet for us. It's bringing new moon, full moon. It's bringing so much transformation. But then the question is, what do you do with that transformation? Are you just working? Some people are just like ignoring even, all these planetary alignments and stuff. Some people are just like, oh, another Mercury retrograde. Oh, another planetary alignment. Oh, another full moon. I'm just, I don't want to connect with that anymore. And then, you see them like being just lost, and not evolving, not shifting, So bring awareness, precision, intention, clarity, focus, direction in everything you are doing. Bring awareness, accelerate your evolution, go to the next level, activate your soul mission. We activate you if you are aligning with us. Not everyone is being activated by me and the 70 Arcturian Council of Light, but if you are aligning with us at the frequency level, we do activate you. But then when you get activated, there is like a huge door is opening for you. And even if you are ready or not, so that's the small print, the disclaimer, because then we cannot just take you back and say, oh, I don't want to be activated anymore, take me back. We cannot take you back, There is only forward movement. But, individually, allow yourself to go to the next level, to take things more seriously, to build differently, to relate differently, to intend differently, especially now in 2026. Like this planet is offering you all the resources and conditions for your evolution and transformation and embodiment and leadership. Now it's up to you what you are doing with all of this. Everything is available for you. And if you don't see the resource around you, it's your third dimensional conditioning that's keeping you stuck. And you cannot go, into a fifth dimensional embodiment with third dimensional conditioning. You need to work through that and let go, dissolve, deconstruct, dissolute, like completely let go of all of those stories that are not you. So, my beautiful ones, thank you for listening. And, I'm very passionate. I'm very passionate about this because I'm very devoted for my divine soul mission on planetary with 70 Arcturian Council of Light, and because we see what's happening on this planet. And because, it's a big deal. It's really like a huge, expansion that's happening at the collective level. And we see people awakening, we see people transforming, but we don't see the devotion, we don't see the commitment towards their path, we don't see the embodiment, we don't see, what is required for them to become leaders. Because you are here to lead. And the fifth dimensional earth is actually, formed by people that are embodying their sovereignty and leadership. You cannot be codependent on the new earth. You cannot even embody fifth dimensional consciousness if you are codependent. So allow yourself to become who you are meant to be. You were born on planet Earth to be that person. And it doesn't need to take you all your life to become that person. It doesn't. And you don't have to go through so much trials and tribulation and contrast and fear and, lessons. This is the old way of evolving. This is third dimensional way of evolving. Fifth dimensional way of evolving is centered, is decision, is clarity, is precision, but also is taking you, to be committed. It's taking you to, let that power within you to completely be embodied, that strength, that resilience. Because each and one of you, what do you want? What do you want? You want to experience an earth where everyone is free, where everyone have access to, decent healthcare, where everyone is healthy, where everyone is experiencing well-being, where everyone is abundant, where everyone doesn't live in fear and lack consciousness. where everyone is compassionate. How many of you are still compassionate towards one another? There are not so many people compassionate nowadays. They don't know how to be compassionate with one another because they are in so much fear consciousness, they're in so much struggle, their body so contracted, their nervous system is fried. And it's fried because that this is the agenda of these days. Everything that's happening on this planet is meant to bring you in that contraction mode, in that fear mode, in that looking over your shoulder mode. And if you are into that, guys, I love you. And love is who you are. The love frequency is who you are. Move out from that into a higher state of receiving receptivity and allow yourself to be helped and transformed. Allow yourself to receive because you are worthy to receive. You are worthy to receive, to have everything you want on this lifetime. It's not like, I can have only this and I will not have that. And no, you are worthy to receive, to become, and to live onto that reality where, as I shared, like a reality where everyone is in equality, equanimity, collaboration, co-creation. And, we are building this new earth together. Because this new earth cannot be built by me and the 70 Arcturian Council of Light, guys. This is why we are here on planet Earth, to activate you. Because we cannot do it ourselves, and we don't want to lead this. This is not about us. It's about you. It's about you becoming the leaders. You becoming sovereign. You becoming interdependent. You becoming free. You becoming abundant. You becoming healthy. You becoming compassionate. You becoming kind. You becoming like the embodiment of your highest expression. And we like technology, we like innovation. I know many of you here that are listening to us today, you are bringing incredible ideas. Nobody knows about you. Nobody heard your voice. Nobody knows your story. Nobody knows your message. I made a live a couple of weeks ago about that, around speaking, sharing your voice and your message. But now, things are even more, as everything on planet Earth is like going the next level of contrast, and everything becomes even more serious. And this is a call for the leaders inside of you, for the sovereign person inside of you, to not be afraid to actually step up your embodiment, step up your the evolution of your consciousness, step up into the next level. Whatever that next level, we are here to support you. Me and the 70 Arcturian Council of Light, we are always, and since we started this mission, we are supporting leaders, 100%. Yeah. And we are not the only one on planet Earth doing this, but we are very devoted. I don't know, this level of devotion, when I see it, I appreciate it, and I'm respecting it because I'm embodying it. So guys, tomorrow is a powerful full moon. Use this opportunity window, cleanse, clear, and purify, purge, let go, collapse timelines, collapse everything, that is keeping you stuck, that is keeping you blocked, that is keeping you into that stream of consciousness that is telling you that you are not enough and you are not ready to step into your power. Like, completely cleanse and let go of what is not serving you. Every small step you are taking is making a huge impact, and it's changing so much. Every little step you take, and you don't have to take 1 million steps. Just make one step, and that's enough. And until next time, guys, it was a pleasure to be here with you, and I trust that this life will be received by the ones that are ready to receive, and the messages will go exactly to the people that are meant to receive this transmission. And thank you for being with me today. Until next time, I'm sending you so much love, many blessings, and I'm looking forward to be co-creating with you in whatever capacity you are ever able to receive. If you are able to receive more, let us know. You can find me, online at liviadevi.com, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you. Many blessings.